You are listening to Knackers in the Breeze, the podcast, with your hosts, Ryan and Barry.
Would you rather have cheddar cheese for knees, or a talking dog that only speaks in Portuguese? Or to make yourself feel really dry, would you towel dry between your thighs, or dangle out your knackers in the breeze?
Welcome to episode 33 of Knackers in the Breeze with me, Ryan.
Me, Barry.
And this week we are joined by Alex and Chris from the Fractal Fiction podcast.
Hello.
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 We at Knackers in the Breeze are the podcast that attempts to achieve philosophical enlightenment by answering hypothetical questions sent in by listeners and other podcasters. I kind of black out when I say that. It's just I've said it so many times.
I will say it comes across.
Second nature.
Yeah. There's no passion in what you're saying anymore.
Do you reckon I should do it passionately?
Yeah. So
We're the podcast that attempts to achieve philosophical enlightenment by answering questions. But
That's not what I was expecting by passion.
Does American mean passion?
Yeah.
apparently, yeah.
I thought we were going to go for like some kind of Italian something.
Yeah. That's sexy language.
Me
That's
out of the
French.
podcast.
I thought you were going to say it the same.
it's me.
The same, but with more passion, rather than an American accent. I don't understand where you're going with that.
Well, English accents don't really convey passion, though, do they? Really?
You watch Harry Potter?
If you're feeling passionate about a film about a magic little boy, then something's very wrong.
Nothing gets me more passionate.
Then a boy's wand.
I prefer the earlier films. The first gets boring after 3.
Yes, you gave him that scar. So, 25th of January is Burns Night in Scotland, so this is a Scottish-themed episode this week, and there will be very poor Scottish accents going throughout the episode, I imagine.
It's hard to resist.
So, we're joined by Fractal Fiction, and how would you guys describe your podcast?
It's a improv, sort of mild comedy romp through space. We just chat shit in a sci-fi setting for
With some form of structure.
ish. Just running roughshod over the rules of a game created by Ben Robbins called Microscope.
Yeah, it's sort of like an improv RPG kind of thing, but we've taken away sort of most of the RPG stuff and just gone a bit batshit with it.
Just make up stuff and do stupid voices with varying degrees of success.
Yeah, it's a lot of potentially offensive accents.
Yes.
Well, we hope to hear them today in this Scottish-themed podcast. So, if anyone was intrigued about Fractal Fiction, I've got a little segment that I've put together, and it's kind of like a radio edit to get it in 2 minutes. So, this is a clip of Fractal Fiction.
Fink, noticing that the beige man isn't affected, decides to give it a go with his guitar. His guitar is a one-in-a-lifetime piece. He made it himself. It sort of shoots out the head of the guitar, so he aims it towards him, points it towards the crossget, and he plays a power chord, and he's just like... And, like, you can see the vibration shooting out the end of this guitar.
Each time the wave hits him, he kind of shudders back.
Yeah, he's, like, stuck.
Back, yeah.
He keeps trying to walk forward, but it's like this invisible wall.
Almost like it's a concussive wave.
Yeah, exactly. While Fink carries on playing, he says to Dublé, he goes, "Go for a man with the sword, I'll hold him back." The door next to them, Sharon Poptilla's dressing room, bursts open, and then you see Sharon pop her head out behind him. "Are we safe?" Fink just turns to her and goes, "Yeah, baby." Like that. He's got a really gruff voice all of a sudden.
As he says that over the tannoy, I hear a voice.
"My good friends, I don't believe you are. Crem, you know what to do."
As that happens, a song that's similar,
Oh, fuck's sake.
but not quite like Tubular Bells, just starts. And basically what ensues is this kind of dueling musician.
Dueling
setup.
banjos.
But yeah, then it hits this one note, and this note seems to just slow down time completely. And you just see this one solid wave of sound, like it's actually material.
Right.
And it goes like a thin sheet of it, and it just flies straight towards Creme de la Creme. It hits him in the middle of the face, and literally just slices the top half of his head.
Nice. Who's the cream of the crop now, bitch? Is what Fink would say in his voice. Who's the cream of the crop now, bitch?
I'd forgotten about that.
How does that feel listening to that back now?
Uncomfortable.
Awkward.
Yeah.
No one likes looking in the mirror, do they?
Especially because most of these we're recording mostly drunk. So
Are you drunk now? Out of interest.
No, we heard you're having Irish coffees though, so we're a bit jealous.
Yeah.
I've never had one, but this is amazing.
So, as it's the Scotland-themed episode,
I've
Emily and I...
never even been to Scotland.
No, neither have I. I've been
Actually,
near Scotland.
I've gone to where's the place people get married? They elope.
Gretna Green.
I've been to Gretna Green for a sort of shotgun wedding. There and back. There and back.
Nice. Did you just turn up to a wedding with a shotgun? It's a shotgun wedding. Everyone get down.
It was actually, I went with, it was my dad. He got married again.
You married your dad?
You're allowed to. We can only do it in Scotland.
Oh, of course. Sorry. Yeah, right.
That's very Scottish.
And then it all kicked off because he booked out this hotel and there was another family there and they used our disco that we paid for and ate our buffet.
Oh.
So it all kicked off
That's
in the
not
morning.
on.
In the morning at breakfast, it kicked off.
That's where the shotgun came in.
You were dancing to fucking ABBA. We saw you. I want half the money for the DJ.
So you can take our chicken Kievs, but you'll never take our trifle.
That's exactly what happened. It ruined the entire wedding.
Right. So in the KnackersInTheBreeze recent tradition, there is another quiz.
Is it going to be an ongoing forever tradition? Or is
I
it
don't
just...
know. I quite like it. Other people quite like it. You are always on the
I only
receiving
like
end
it
of it.
if I get the questions right. If
Well,
not, I hate it.
How much do you know about Scotland?
We'll find out, won't we?
Okay, Alex and Chris, how much do you guys know about Scotland?
Loads, definitely.
My
loads.
family coat of arms is Scottish.
Oh,
I know that
fuck
much.
off.
That's all I've got.
Right, who wants to go first? Who wants to go second? Who wants to go third?
I think whoever's got a coat of arms goes first.
Fuck's sake.
Quickly draw one! Chris, you're first. Barry, second, and then Alex last. How's that?
Fine.
That's fair enough.
All right.
I'll take that.
Okay.
Sounds like the final results.
Okay. So this is a combined effort of me and Emily, because a lot of people have enjoyed Emily's quizzes, but they are very difficult, in my opinion.
So you were kind of lowering the bar as she was coming up.
That's my role in life. I always lower the bar for everything.
Think
I
what
do.
she could achieve if she wasn't with you.
Don't tell her because she listens.
I feel like that's also kind of a motto for our podcast, isn't it? Lowering the bar.
Yeah.
Lowering the cultural bar.
That is the caption everyone wants. Okay, Chris.
Oh, God.
What are the two colours featured in the flag of Scotland?
Piss off.
Yeah, that's a difficult one. Is white really a colour? It's more...
What colour and tone feature in the flag of Scotland?
White and blue, Ryan.
Yes.
I mean, if this is the level...
This is the level, right?
Spells Scotland.
Right, Barry. Spell Scott. No, I'm joking. The Proclaimers proclaimed that they would walk a certain number of miles in the song. I'm gonna be. How many miles was it?
500.
500. That's correct. I'll also accept 1,000 because I said 1,000 afterwards.
Okay. If I said kilometres, not right.
No.
Okay.
Well, it's a return journey, isn't it? So
Yeah. Well, if you did say kilometres, that'd be weird because I said how many miles.
Yeah. Just like, okay.
it still would have been wrong.
That's 1,600 kilometres.
Yeah, if I'd done the conversion. Anyway, carry on.
Alex, what is the capital of Scotland?
This is so easy.
Yeah?
Oh, but I feel now I'm just doubting everything I've ever heard about Scotland.
Dublin.
This is one thing I get that works up about quizzes that I just automatically doubt myself and then credit.
Can I hear you Googling? Are you trying to buy time while you Google it?
It's all right. I just hammered my keyboard and almost stopped the Audacity recording. That's fantastic. Oh, fuck. If I get this wrong, I'll be such plump. It's Edinburgh, right?
It's Edinburgh. Correct.
Yeah.
Right.
Fuck.
Right, that's where the easy questions stop.
Oh, you lured us in.
Now we're talking.
So, Chris, England's national flower is the red rose and Wales's national flower is the daffodil. What is Scotland's national flower?
Oh, my God. It's going to be something white, I reckon. I'm not very good at flowers. Tulip.
That's the Netherlands.
Tulip? No, it's the thistle.
Oh, of course it is.
That's not a flower. It's a weed.
Barry, this isn't multiple choice. What is the national animal of Scotland?
Oh, bull bags.
Oh, that's easy.
It's not bull bags.
I was going to say.
Is it easy?
It's not easy, and I'm going to
Thank you.
get pushback for the answer, but I didn't come up with it. I researched it.
Okay. Right, let me think. It's not a stag, is it?
I can't give you any...
I'm thinking Monarch of the Glen. You know.
What a show.
Oh, yeah, that's a great show.
Well, I
That's
don't
a
think
banger.
I'm not thinking of the show. There's a famous.
There was a guy that owned wolves, wasn't there, on Monmouth Glen, or was that another program?
I've never seen it. I don't know.
What, Wolverhampton?
Oh, God.
You own the
Oh, God. What was the question?
What is the national animal of Scotland?
Right. Where does
Scotland?
haggis? It's not an animal, is it?
No.
Lamb? No. I'm gonna just be Loch Ness. Nessie.
Well, you're not far off with that.
Okay, so it's a fish.
Oh, you haven't finished yet, have you? Still guessing?
I'm still guessing. Yeah, I'm just saying it. If you throw enough shit against a wall, stag.
You're not far off with both because
What?
you're not far off with Loch Ness Monster because it's a fictional creature. It's a unicorn.
It's a unicorn.
Oh well, you didn't say that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's on the coat of arms of Scotland.
Yeah.
What?
So yeah, the genuine national animal of Scotland doesn't exist.
Apparently, it's because the unicorn is the natural enemy of the lion, and because ours is the lion.
Ah, okay.
But I don't get why. How do they know? When have you ever seen a unicorn and a lion fight?
I like the idea that they just spent hours taping cornettos to the top of horses and running them at lions.
And the lion clearly won because I've never seen a unicorn. So
Yeah,
there was only
they're
one
still
winner in
bound
that
to
one.
us.
I've not seen many lions in Scotland, though, to be fair.
Oh, maybe the unicorn did win.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then sort of
Topped him.
went disappeared into the mist.
Okay, Alex.
Hello. Yes.
The Gaelic for whiskey is Uisce Beta. What is this literal meaning? And you've got a multiple choice here. You got
Fuck. Yeah, my Gaelic's a bit rusty.
yeah. Told you to do research for the podcast. Spirit of Scotland, heartwarming liquid, water of life, or good health.
And can you give me the Gaelic again, just so I can,
Uisce Beta.
I feel like it's the water of life one. Uisce Beta. Yeah, there was a water of life kind of answer, wasn't there? Something.
That's correct.
Yay!
Yes.
I'm thinking beta sounds like Vita. Vita's Latin for life. Sure, we'll go for that.
So, Chris, which historical figure did Mel Gibson play as in Braveheart?
Oh, William Wallace.
Yes. Well done.
Great film.
Right.
A lot of time for it.
Barry, in the Scots language, what does it mean to haver?
To
haver. A, talk nonsense. B, talk profoundly. C, to boast. Or D, brood in silence.
When I heaver, yeah, I know I'm going to be... Oh, it doesn't help. B, was that nonsense?
A was talk nonsense.
A.
Talk nonsense. That's correct.
Yeah!
Right, Alex, how many times has Scotland won the Rugby Union Six Nations Championship?
Well, as everybody knows, sport is my strong point. Fuck. The rugby what?
Six Nations.
Oh, fuck. How many Six Nations have there even been?
So Six Nations started in the year 2000. So there's been 19 and one coming up in February.
Yearly. Jesus Christ, it feels like it is. I'm going to say they have won 5 times.
5 times. They've won 0 times.
Close.
They have the moral victory 5 times.
They get double points then.
Do I also get double points for that?
Barry does his own scoring system that doesn't make sense, so you'll have to ask him.
I reward ingenuity, outside the box thinking.
They're usually all points to himself.
You're just havering. Come on.
I would give you a bonus point for using Scottish there.
Thank you.
If we learnt, but I'm not going to.
Oh.
Chris.
Yeah.
What is the word for Scotland in Scottish Gaelic?
Oh, God. I've got no idea. No idea.
No idea?
Pass.
It's Alba.
Jessica.
Like Jessica Alba.
Never heard of that.
No?
No, I never heard of that.
So like the old English word for England is Albion.
Oh,
It's sort of similar to that. Barry, in 2013, Scottish football manager David Moyes replaced another Scottish football manager at Manchester United after 27 years at the club. Who was he?
I mean, everybody knows that, right? Is it a trick question?
No?
Okay. Sir Alex Ferguson.
Correct. Well done.
Yay!
Alex,
Yes, hello.
name the Scottish author who wrote the novel Trainspotting.
Oh, piss. Irving Welsh.
Yes, well done. Who
Yes.
also had a cameo role as Mikey Forrester in the film version.
Did Filth as well, if I remember rightly.
Yes.
Chris, Scotland Scotland has approximately how many islands? And it's multiple choice.
I reckon we don't give him the multiple choice. Just let him just eyeball it. Give him a map and 30 seconds to count them.
590,
Whoa.
790,
Whoa.
990, or 1,190.
Piss off. Are you counting just rocks?
I'm going to go middle ground 790.
790 is correct.
Whoa!
Oh, fuck off.
I counted them.
Barry, Scotland is known for having many groundbreaking inventors, such as Alexander Graham Bell's invention of the first practical telephone,
What a guy.
John Logie Baird's invention of television,
Brilliant.
Alexander Fleming's discovery of penicillin and insulin. Which of these is not a Scottish invention? The refrigerator, the camera phone, the fizzy drink Iron Brew, kaleidoscope, or colour photography?
Which one of them is not Scottish?
Is not Scottish.
Right, you've thrown Iron Brew in there, and I'm wondering why. And I think you're trying to dangle it, so I choose it. But it was invented there, and then it's actually the fridge. Which no, if it wasn't the fridge, I was invented in Australia because it's really hot there, isn't it?
Oh, mate, all our food's getting hot. What are we doing it? Chuck it in the frigo,
what's
mate.
an Iron Brew on it? So I reckon. What was the fourth option?
Fourth option was kaleidoscope.
That.
No, it was the camera phone.
Okay.
All the other ones were Scottish inventions. The refrigerator was invented by William Cullen. Iron Brew, Scottish. Kaleidoscope was invented by Sir David Brewster, who you'd think would invent the Iron Brew.
He went on to create the Iron Brew.
And colour photography was James Clerk Maxwell. So that was Barry, wasn't it? Alex, when did Scotland last qualify for the FIFA World Cup? You're getting all the
Come on.
sports ones here. I've got multiple choice.
Don't give in.
2010, 2006, 2002, 1998, 1994, or 1990.
You just listed all the years of the World Cup. Makes it.
And it still doesn't help. I'm going to just... 1998.
That's correct.
Yeah!
Fucking yes.
Bullshit.
Okay, Chris.
Yeah.
What are curling stones traditionally made of? Iron, granite, limestone, or marble?
Marble.
Wrong.
No, it's granite.
From one particular island as well, if I remember rightly.
Oh, really? Do you know what
One of
island
the
it is?
Curling Island.
I can't remember the island, but it is one island. They just mine it all there.
Brilliant.
I'm just really trying to wring out the extra points anywhere at this point.
I'd give you half a point for that if it was up to me.
Yes.
If only you went. If only you went first, you could have got all these points.
This is a hustle. He claims to know nothing about sport.
So Barry, how many gold medals did Chris Hoy win at the London 2012 Olympics?
Oh, God. Do I get multiple choice?
No.
No. Why does everyone else get multiple choice?
Okay, I can give you multiple choice.
Yeah.
0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
So it's a maximum of 10. He didn't win 10. 4, 3, 4. What does he do?
He's a cyclist.
Cyclist, yeah. 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, 5, 4.
4?
Yeah.
It was 6.
Oh.
That's too many, really.
Too many. Give them back.
Yeah.
Trade them for iron and make some drinks. Alex, Slains Castle in Aberdeenshire is said to have inspired which tale of horror? And I've got multiple choice. I've got Frankenstein by Mary Shelley, Dracula by Bram Stoker, The Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde by Robert Louis Stevenson, and The Fall of the House of Usher by Edgar Allan Poe.
Oh, bollocks. Okay, so Edgar Allan Poe is American, so probably it could be him.
It's not necessarily the author, it's just what inspired.
That's what I'm thinking, but I'm just thinking, did he ever come over here? I think Dracula and Frankenstein were written by two people on the same holiday, if I remember rightly. But they were doing it in Italy.
Not in Magaluf, no.
Not in Magaluf, no, yeah.
Lads! I've written a novel, by the way.
It was a horrendous come down. And they were like, oh, should we just write some horror? I'm going to curveball it and say no, I'm not Dracula.
Dracula is correct.
Yes.
Oh, no way.
Chris.
Yeah.
Roughly how many golf courses does Scotland have? Multiple choice.
Oh, that's good.
5, 100, 550, or 2005?
550.
550 is correct.
Yes.
Barry, when was the first recorded sighting of the Loch Ness Monster?
What do you want? Decade?
Oh, I've got multiple choice again as well.
Okay.
I'm terrible at this. 565 AD.
No.
1000. These are all AD, by the way. 565. 1085. 1765. 1905.
1905.
1905 is incorrect. It was 565
I want proof.
AD.
Where's the proof? Where's the proof?
No photography back
Yeah,
then.
I've not seen that photo.
That's bullshit.
It's just a tapestry somewhere.
And their camera phones back then were terrible.
Oh, yeah.
Scotland didn't invent them.
One megapixel.
Their fridges were great, though.
And lastly, Alex, where did President Dwight D. Eisenhower of the United States have a residence in Scotland? Was it Holyrood Palace in Edinburgh, Glamis Castle in Angus, Culzean Castle in Ayrshire, and Edinburgh Castle?
I'm going to say it is B.
Glamis Castle in Angus?
Yeah.
That's incorrect. It was Culzean Castle in Ayrshire. That's not one of my
Piss.
questions.
All right.
Right. So
Fuck that one, aren't I? Jesus.
that's the end of the quiz. So scores on the doors. Chris has 4 out of 7.
Is that it?
Is that it? You're shit, mate.
Barry
Jesus.
has 4
Woo!
out of 7. Alex has 5 out of 7.
Fuck it in the bucket. Yes.
The honorary jock for the day.
Okay, the fucking new.
Well played. Well played.
Well done, lads.
Yeah, good game.
Thank you,
boys,
Emily,
good
for
game.
helping with the quiz. And I've got nothing else.
Hey, subscribe, and you may laugh. Unsubscribe, and you'll live, at least a while. But listening to your podcast in your bed many years from now, would you be willing to trade all the episodes from other shows for that one chance? Just one chance on social media to say, we will give you your likes and share your Knackers and the Breeze on!
That speech made absolutely no sense.
It's the Ryan and Barry Show. Bing! People time here, and we have a question for you guys. If you had 9 lives, how would you monetize this? That's right, we're making you break one of your rules. So, if you die, 24 hours later, you come back completely fine. But granted, you only have 9 lives. After the 9th time, you're dead for good. How would you best monetize this? Love you guys' show.
Got it. I know what I'd do immediately. Obviously, I'm only talking about this because he's prompted us to. Otherwise, we wouldn't ever talk about.
No, you never talk about monetizing
That's
any
financially
hypothetical superpowers.
So this is pretty simple. This is how I would do it anyway. I'd kill myself.
Just to feel like what it's like? Or?
No.
I'm on board already. But yeah, go on.
I'd go to not Times Square. Well, yeah, let's go to Times Square. Busiest time of the day, maybe 3 o'clock on a
Are
Saturday.
you thinking of like the monk in Tiananmen Square?
Kind of.
You're going to do some sort of protest?
Kind of, yeah. I'm going to have signs going, I'm going to kill myself at 4 o'clock. And
Are you protesting anything or just like, hey, come and watch?
Yeah.
Live stream.
It's all about, look, I'll tell you, so I'll get a crowd gathered. I'll go, ho, 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 bang. I'd shoot myself in the head, right? Which would have been filmed by people passing, what's going on here? It would have caused a meltdown. I'd go viral instantly. Oh my God, a guy shot himself. I'd then come back. I'm alive again. Okay. Everyone's going, what's going on here? It's really
and they'll
weird.
just go, oh, he's got a twin.
Right. But I go, I'm not, no, I have. If you think that,
It's the
watch
real life,
this.
the prestige.
I'd probably be invited onto like the Ellen DeGeneres show or something. Like, how did you do that? I'd shoot myself on that show. Bang.
That's a fate worse than death anyway, really, isn't it?
But bang, that's 2 lives gone. And we go, wow, he can't come back to life. He's come back to life again. I'd then be interviewed by all sorts of people. Bang, I keep killing myself. And then I've used 7 lives.
Right.
I've killed myself in 7 high-profile places. I'm the talk of the planet. I'll go, guys.
It's the new 7 wonders of the world.
there
People are
goes.
going to go like tourist locations of like, oh, I could still feel his skull fragments over here.
What I would do, I'd go, guys, I'm releasing a podcast episode next Friday. I'm going to tell you how I do it, how I can resurrect from the dead, and I'll put it behind a paywall. It's £5 to download the episode.
And it's just a link to Knackers in the Breeze with no information whatsoever.
And then, so obviously, millions of people go, wow, he's got the secret to life. He can, he doesn't die. How does he do it? We've got immortality. It's only a £5. They'll all download it. Boom, we drop the episode.
And then people would be reading into it too much then, wouldn't they? They'll be like, well, he hasn't said anything about it, but maybe behind the scenes, it's like maybe laughter is...
Let's go back through every episode. Let's go back to their back catalogue, and maybe the secret's in there. And we put them all behind a paywall. Bang, millions, trillions. There we go.
But then surely you're going to have millions and trillions of people trying to kill themselves or actually killing themselves.
Not my problem. To be honest with you.
That's the answer I wanted. That's fine. Cool.
More fool them, I say.
Yeah, it's our own fucking fault.
So you've done 7 lives there.
Yeah.
And you've still got one in the bank, one in the
get
pocket.
publicity and press. And
What would you do with the 8th life?
Well, keep one in your pocket because you never know when you're going to need it. Keep one. Don't just burn through the wall. And make sure you keep an accurate count of how many you've got, because if you get that wrong, make sure I'll keep a little book in my breast pocket at all times with the tally on.
So,
I mean, if you can't keep track of 9 things.
I'm busy doing press all around the world.
I like how you were going for like the pair and the spare kind of idea with lives.
Yeah.
It's like, just in case I shit myself, I've got a spare pair of pants in the back.
Or in a little plastic bag, carry a spare life, just in case.
Yeah, just in case.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen, but you never know.
But I think from that, I could probably make a cool 8 to 9 mil, which is enough just to sort of relax on a beach with for the rest of my little life.
So if you have all 9 lives and you didn't like immediately kill yourself like Barry is going to, and you just died of old age, would you then have 8 more lives, or just like you come back and then you've got like some degenerative disease and you've still got like get through that for like a few months?
Tragic.
Live it through it before you can actually reset again.
So you die of pneumonia like 8 times in a row, 8 days in a row.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, you just keep dying because you are at the point of death.
Still got it. And on the 6th day, you're live recording it. Find out how I do it in the podcast.
Periscoping your death from old age.
What a waste of that special power, I think.
Well, I don't know whether I should be worried, because my first thought was suicide as well. This whole episode's really gotten dark.
Welcome to Knackers in the Breeze. We have this effect on people.
That was before we had this question.
I'd also probably, pop myself pretty much as soon as I knew.
A few times.
It's just to make sure, just like, I think like a fair amount of money can be made. I think you can make a fair amount of money just by going around and proving to people that there's no afterlife, surely.
Whoa.
You could become like the new Jesus, like the
really
life
good.
of Brian, life of Barry.
Yeah, but
you know what's on the other side by that point. So you're like, by the way,
do you?
There's nothing.
Okay. So you're the new Jesus trying to prove that there is no afterlife or religion. They're like, where have you come from?
Sure.
Yeah, my first thought was either Messiah complex of coming back from the dead, being like, it's me, bitches, I'm back. This is my second time now.
Hi, Mum.
After you stuck that rock in front of my first one. Or some like Evel Knievel stuntman who doesn't actually try to land the stunts.
Okay, that's quite good.
Limited work. I mean, you can do 6, 7 jobs. Yeah.
But you can do it 8 times, 8 really big stunts. And like you said, like big place at Times Square.
That's brilliant.
I'm just going to dive off the Empire State Building.
I love it.
Well, I was the same thought as Barry, like get on the media circus, like start playing up to it, making the next one, like advertising, like kind of like boxing, you know?
Yeah.
Like Eddie Hearn's my manager.
Yeah, get him to shoot you during one press conference.
He shoots me.
Do you come? I just need to know, like I don't need to know, no one, but I'd like to know. Do you come back instantly? What's
They
the
said
delay?
24 hours later.
So you just appear again.
It's quite a while.
So you got like a respawn timer, just waiting in the lobby.
So I'm on the pavement, spread out.
But do you appear where you died, or back in your bed?
I don't know.
or
It didn't
something?
really specify, but imagine just like back in your bed, like Groundhog Day or something.
Yeah, but it was like Chris was saying he was going to dive off the Empire
Well, I
State
think it's
Building.
going to be like your body's kind of like a vessel sort of
Oh,
thing.
right. See, I was thinking if you fuck the landing and become essentially human pate, what happens then 24 hours later? You just revive as human pate.
Or you just land as human pate, but you're still alive. So they put you on a life support machine. You're like, no, kill me because then I can come back. But you can't speak, so you're just stuck there for your whole
Imagine that. They would
life.
keep you in a induced coma.
Your very essence is just basically in a Tupperware looking like a punched lasagna. And that's it.
And they put you in sort of like put you in a sort of museum in a little glass cabinet and covered in formaldehyde for the next 300 years.
Yeah, it's just like, please kill me, but can you do it for the next 8 times?
Actually, no, 7 times.
Don't do it.
Punch lasagna.
So I was thinking, do you remember like the Thai football team that got caught in the cave?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Where are you going with this?
I was wondering whether you could use the the infinite life thing just to kind of save people from situations and monetize that.
That's very noble.
A bit like how Elon Musk didn't and then end up calling that guy a pedo.
Oh,
Yeah, the pedo saved him.
Guys, I built a submarine. He's like, we've got it under control. We don't need it. What? I've come all the way here with a fucking submarine. You're not even going to use it. No, we don't need it.
You pedo.
Fucking pedo. Did you hear his defense about that?
He got away with it.
He was like, "Oh, that's just what we call people in South Africa. If they, like, hey, pedo, you're a pedo. What's up, pedo?"
Everybody from South Africa just has like a year 8 mentality. It's like, yeah, shut up, mate, you're a pedo.
Non-soft, mate.
But I think the idea that you can just go into very dangerous situations in a way, like a kind of a superhero kind of thing, and just save people, but then you're like, I have saved you, however, here's the bill, kind of thing.
Or invoice it.
later.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, sort of a bit like the American health system, essentially.
No, topical.
Yeah.
So are you only...
And ours soon. So there we go.
Oh, it's very topical now.
So you planning to only save the rich? Because those Thai boys have got nothing to their name. They ain't paying you anything.
True. The only person interested in saving them would be, for example,
Gary Glitter, yeah.
He's there. He's not even using a submarine. Suddenly he's Aquaman. He's just fucking. he's like Michael Phelps through that cave, just bolting it.
Erect penis as a fin. Does backstroke.
Guys, Gary went in there 36 hours ago. Where is he? Meanwhile, inside, just some slow bass.
Oh, God.
He's got that post-coital glow.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, and we found the line. There we go.
You started off so noble, and then
You started off, I'm going to save people's lives. And now it's like, Gary Glitter with the post-coital fucking glow as he comes out and all the Thai boys. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but that's Gary Glitter. That's not me. I just want to point that out like, very clearly. That's me. I'm not Peter.
Dear Barry, I've asked you a question, but it's been derailed. I left my name, my location, on the age on the email. I feel like this podcast relationship will start growing stale, and this lack of reply is becoming beyond the pale. All I want is to feel you inside me. The love I feel for you so strong that it blinds me. I just need to feel your whole pelvis behind me. It's strange hearing your voice and how insane it drives me. All froze cold, I'm listening to Knackers in the Breeze. You can find them on all platforms like iTunes and Spotify.
If I could ask you guys some classic Dear Deirdre, Agony Aunt sort of things and just get some advice. And, unintentionally, there might be somebody listening who's going through a similar problem and they might take something away from your advice. Okay. So these are just some little ones, summer relationship. I mean, I'd like to hear your thoughts on this. Are you ready?
Go for it.
Okay. You're all quite world-wise men. Dear Deirdre, my wife and I agreed to watch some adult movies to spice up our sex life. When I asked her her preference, she said lesbians. Should I be worried? What's your thoughts?
What a legend.
What
a lesbian. You had me at lesbian?
There's got to be something in the back of your mind that's a little worried.
Yeah.
Surely.
Is there some sort of like, you can wear a strap on? Is there something equivalent that you can just kind of pop over somewhere or
like some kind of weird innie situation?
Yeah. Maybe if you tuck it behind, you could have.
Or you just turn around, I guess.
Yeah. Well, no, that's after.
That's for pudding.
Yeah. So my advice would be search on the web, look for some sort of innie strap on or strap in.
Sure.
Get her to go to town on you.
This is your look for an innie strap on. Next.
Embrace it.
I never thought I'd say that waking up this morning.
Okay. We're going to move on to the next question. Okay. This one is a lot more to this. And this, I think, like this is a lady this time. It's about her boyfriend, and she probably could really do with some genuine advice. Settle down, guys. Here we go. Dear Deirdre, my boyfriend has admitted to me that he kicked a seagull to death. Don't laugh! Why are you laughing?
We had a friend once that threw a bottle at a swan.
Had a friend. I had a friend.
Still do, but we won't go into that.
Okay.
But it was delicious.
Was it a plastic bottle or a sort of a glass bottle?
Chris, can you remember?
That's really important.
It was a long time ago.
It was a message in a bottle, and when you opened it, it just said, "Fuck you, seagull."
I think it was a glass bottle as well. I don't think it hit the swan, to be fair.
Are they like sort of extensions of the Queen herself?
Yeah.
Only the ones in Hyde Park.
Right. So all the others can fuck. They're like Prince
So they're
Andrew.
fair game then, the rest.
Yeah, it's like open season for swans.
Because I'm peckish.
You could like eat their neck like a corn on the cob.
It does sound quite tasty.
Yeah, or like in like one of those. Do you remember those hot dogs where there was no kind of hole in the bun? It just went straight through the middle, just like that, but with a swan's neck.
No.
Anyway, sorry.
Oh, yeah.
I
I
can't
had
remember
that,
the really shitty ones. I don't know. Anyway, I digress.
She needs our help. Dear Deirdre, my boyfriend has admitted to me that he kicked a seagull to death after it stole a sandwich out of his hand. We have been together for 4 years and live in Cornwall, where gulls can be a problem, but he has never been violent before. We were talking about seagulls because they have been out in the news when he came out with this. It happened last summer. We're in our early 20s. I can't stop thinking about him hurting an innocent animal. I've tried talking to him about it, but he is adamant that the seagull deserved it. How can I get past this?
I'm fully behind him.
What happened if we're all in support?
Well, if that's your advice.
We need someone on the other side.
I'm on the other side. I think you should not be kicking seagulls. Especially they live in Cornwall. They knew what they were getting themselves into when they moved to a seaside coastal town with tourists.
It's on the sign as you come in. It's like, sandwiches are going to get taken.
Yeah.
So they're just pure condensed evil, though. They're not even that condensed. The ones in Plymouth, because I lived there for a couple of years, they're the size of dogs. they are as big
predators.
as men. Yeah.
As big as men.
They're just obscene. And yeah, they've got the face of evil. They got beady little evil eyes. Do you not remember that one that stole a whole chihuahua?
Yes.
Okay, that's true. That's true.
Where do you draw the line? When does
Would you kick a
abuse
seagull to
not-
death to save a chihuahua?
Or to save a sandwich.
I think
mean,
sandwich is
arguably-
probably it's more of a stretch.
I actually
You get more out of a sandwich.
I
than a
have
chihuahua,
had
but-
a half of Subway sandwich taken by a seagull after I've taken one bite, and I was fucking furious. And
What was your first thought, though?
I was on the beach. I don't know if anyone saw it happen. A seagull come down, swooped down, took it out of my hand, and then flew off immediately. And I was just like, but I don't think anyone saw me happen because I stood up and went, "Oh, for fuck's sake!" And I was like, what the fuck is he doing?
But this is the thing. It's quite difficult to kick a seagull to death because, by its very essence, it's a bird. It's flying.
I want to know how long he was chasing.
You got to kick it. You got
Yeah, just doing fucking high kicks.
You got to kick it.
Just
in one
kicking
go.
it out of a plane.
You got to kill it in one kick. I always feel, otherwise it will get away.
Unless, of course, there's a deeper part to this, and this seagull was on the ground already
in a wheelchair.
he baited it. He just here
God's sake.
In which case, was this a mercy killing?
In which case, he should be commended for his actions.
Yeah, this is sort of avian assisted suicide at this point.
You know what? That's something that. So, advice to her would probably be,
Give him a medal.
Find out if it was a mercy and he's actually doing a good thing. If it was a mercy killing,
Yeah.
because you might have it wrong, bitch.
Well, I'd check that he doesn't piss the bed, because if he does, he's definitely a murderer or a psychopath.
Yes, and petty theft.
Petty theft, piss the bed, kick a seagull to death,
If he nicked the sandwich
straight to the slammer.
that the seagull nicks, then
What?
He stole it back. He's definitely.
What's the piss in the
Piss
bed
on it.
thing?
It's the classic
it?
serial killer thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
No,
Oh, it's
way.
head trauma, piss in the bed, abusive mother, and violence towards animals.
Wow, I know somebody.
Yeah. If she's got a horrible mother-in-law, and he pisses the bed, she's fucked.
Right, so
She needs to get
that's our advice is. Here's a list of things to check.
Yeah.
and if your parents dress you up as the opposite gender as a child, that's another one as well.
Yes. Yeah. But that's kind of mother abuse, isn't it?
Yes.
I like brilliant.
So
All
the
right.
advice is run because he's coming for you next.
Last one now. This is some heavy shit. This is some deep, heavy shit. So I apologise. This is a real Dear Deirdre that was sent in a couple of years ago. And it's not even funny.
I'm sure we'll be level-headed and serious.
Yeah,
about
it'd be
it,
really.
so
This
it's
is from some parents that are very concerned about their child. Dear Deirdre, Rye's already laughing, and this is serious. This is genuinely some dark shit. So, Dear Deirdre, I caught my 6-year-old son looking at something disgusting on the computer. It feels like we've both let him down. My husband. You're making me laugh. My husband and I are 36 and have been married for 8 years. Our son is the love of our life. I thought he was watching cartoons, but when I saw what was on the screen, I froze. I don't know how to say this, but he was watching... he was watching girls pooing on people and then eating it. I turned it off straight away and told him that it wasn't a nice thing to watch. We've put in parental controls, but I feel like I've let him down by being too lax. Any advice? No, that's...
I've been too lax, and now he's watching people. They were shitting on people and then eating it off them.
That's how she's described it, the mother, yeah.
This sounds like it was probably a very specific video that was a cultural zeitgeist moment in the early 2000s.
Yeah.
Not one I've watched. I know Chris has watched it a lot of times and he didn't like that kind of thing.
Yeah,
still got it in his phone.
I think you're right. I think it is that video, but just by she's described it as girls pooing and then eating. Yeah, it's basically it's two girls,
one cup, isn't it?
Maybe,
probably.
I hope it is.
5% of it was chocolate, I think, is the official statistic.
That's bullshit.
So 95%
it was
bad.
chocolate at one point.
Yeah.
Pre-digestion.
I mean, if you're eating cack, what does it matter, the chocolate percentage in it?
Well, apparently they did use some chocolate, but not all of it.
Who's found this
the
out?
vast majority is not chocolate.
So there's like a stunt poo, essentially, in that.
Yeah, but not enough for it to matter.
Just for the close-ups.
If you're going to make it stunt poo, make it 100% chocolate.
Yeah.
I mean, surely mixing some chocolate with it was going to put you off chocolate afterwards.
Yeah, you're ruining...
Just have 100%
Unless they're trying to
poo.
do it to overpower the taste of poo. I don't know what the taste of poo would be. Yeah, what we really need is we need somebody who's eaten both. So, Chris, any ideas?
Well, they say like chocolate and like umami flavour is quite a good pairing, so maybe.
Chocolate and a bit of like poo and a bit of basil, bit of oregano.
Make it Italian.
Yeah, you can't knock it till you try it.
If you've eaten shit, please leave a message, send an email
Please
in.
contact us. Oh, no.
KnackersInTheBreeze at gmail.com or get in touch on Instagram at KnackersInTheBreeze podcast.
We'd love to hear from you.
I mean, it depends how kind of millennial and inverted commas woke we want to be, because you could go for, it's their own choice, any sexual proclivity, just
but he's 6.
No matter how.
He's 16.
He's 6. Sorry, I thought he was 16.
Yeah, that's 16. He's 6. Fuck me. Put the parental controls on, bitch.
No, he's 6. You can't go, that's just what he likes.
He's 6 and he's watching videos of people eating cack. That's bang out of
That's
order.
why the parents are so concerned.
Yeah, put some parental controls on.
Yeah, I mean, firstly, how does he know about this?
Yeah.
Don't let me use the computer. Give him a
6-year-old has
break.
got free reign? Well, loads of them, actually.
Yeah.
But yeah, there we go. So they didn't have parental controls, but now they do. But they feel like, is it too late? Have they fucked him up? Have they let him down?
Nah, he's young enough to just go, the silly just pooed on him.
This is YouTube's algorithm that's doing this. He's watching Peppa Pig videos and suddenly there's a girl eating scat.
I just think if I was the parent, I go, do you address it and try and discuss it, or do you pretend it never happened and hope that they forget?
Do the British thing and pretend it never happened.
Don't make a thing out of it.
Bottle it up. Kick it down to the back of your mind. That's the best thing to do.
If you shame him now or try and address it and he'll go, oh, was it a thing? It's a thing. He'll end up being one of those guys who...
Yeah, there'll be an association.
He'll possibly be into scat as an adult, possibly.
Yeah.
And he'll become a serial killer because it's the same thing again.
Yeah, check if he's pissing the bed.
Yeah.
Give him a head trauma if he hasn't had one.
Yeah, cave his head in.
Cave his head in. Be done with it.
Do society a favour.
This is on the parents, surely. They should be having a deep think about what they're doing to make this kid love it.
Because if they're saying they're lax, how lax you have to be before your child is watching scat porn?
I want to know how many
pretty fucking lax.
how many clicks it took that. Did he just type it in? Did he get sent it?
Yeah, on a scale of 1 to lax, that's like crack den lax, surely.
Yeah. I check the dad's his favourites in his toolbar as well, because I reckon
that's true.
Yeah.
I'm not sure the kid would know how to spell what to search for.
I think you're right.
That's a favourite link somewhere.
I don't know. The title 2 Girls 1 Cup's quite short.
The thing is, it was part of the cultural...
It's child-friendly.
Like you said, the cultural zeitgeist, and it was, it's part of collective, and everybody's aware of it now. But it shouldn't have been on the playground. He shouldn't have been aware of it as a 6-year-old, right? Surely. So he's got it from somewhere. Maybe a weird uncle or an old...
It's always an uncle.
So he's gone, oh, watch this. And he's just watched... That one probably isn't the first time he's watched it.
So you've said to me a number of times that you'd always love to do some sort of like Dear Deirdre style thing.
I didn't know where you were going with that.
Yeah, I was thinking, how drunk was I?
You've said a number of times you'd like to eat my poo. And,
What advice would you give to the questions that you've asked us?
Well, I won't go for this one. I would say address it. Just talk to it. Go, that Timmy.
That video, shitting and eating. It was chocolate.
I'd probably
Some of it was 5%
say it was chocolate.
Yeah, some of it was chocolate.
Some of it was chocolate, and they love each other. When a man, a woman,
Some of
and
it was
a
sweet
woman and a
corn.
woman love each other very much, and there's trust. I don't know. I'd try and be like, it isn't normal though. We don't watch those videos until you're big. That sounds weird, doesn't it?
that's so creepy.
On your 18th birthday, you know what you're getting.
I don't know what I do. I'm grossly underqualified to deal with this kind of situation, which is why I was coming to you guys. And you've really helped cave his head in. It's your advice. It's the same advice for all three has been probably a murderer.
They're almost certainly murderers.
We've covered the entire range of child abuse now, so that's nice.
Hitler continues the bombardment of the south coast of England in the Battle of Britain. Countless men, women and children have been civilian casualties of the Luftwaffe's strategic bombing. Not knowing how to combat the enemy, Prime Minister Churchill sends a coded message to KnackersInTheBreeze to find out what Ryan and Barry would rather. Here in MI5 with the latest technology, Allied intelligence manages to contact KnackersInTheBreeze by sending a voice recording to their Facebook page, and also by sending a DM to their Instagram handle, KnackersInTheBreeze Podcast. Godspeed, Barry and Ryan. The future of Britain depends on you.
Right, I've got a Scottish-related question then. How's this?
Excellent. Just ask something really quickly about Scotland.
Go for it.
Have you ever seen Hadrian's Wall?
No.
Okay, let's move on.
Well, I've seen it on telly and the internet.
Pathetic, isn't it?
Well, it was much bigger back in the day, I think. It had like
Would have kept anybody
wooden
out.
fortifications and stuff.
Okay.
Right, here we go.
Good afternoon, lads. The summer of this year, 2020, is the European Football Championships. So I've got a question for you in mind. Hypothetically speaking, if England were to play Scotland in the final, what's the lowest amount of money you'd have to be paid to wear full England gear from head to toe, full England shirt, shorts, socks, England face paint, and maybe even like one of those wigs with the St George's flag on it in the centre of Glasgow in a pub for the entire match? What's the lowest amount of money you'd have to be paid for that?
See,
were those people cheering out the question?
I thought you were driving.
That
at
was,
first, and then the background was like, oh, it's not a car, it's a bloody crowd. So Glasgow's pretty rough, isn't it, in places?
Yeah.
I've heard. I've never been there. So would it be, what kind of pub would you be in? A lovely family Weatherspoons, or
I've heard like
such a thing?
some sides of Glasgow are rough. I think it's probably the east. It's always the east side of every city, isn't it?
So would you be in like the hardcore
Yeah.
pub?
So you'd have to go in the east or wherever the rough side is,
You would get your head kicked in.
or just a random pub that you have no control over. Someone says like you have to go to this pub.
Fuck. I mean, I'd feel self-conscious doing that in England I'd feel like I'd get my head kicked in dressed like that anyway.
I'm just going to say, I'm not sure I'd like to go to the pub at all in East Glasgow, whether I was dressed up or not. I'm not sure I'd survive it.
Yeah, it wouldn't go down. Hello, chaps. Yeah, it wouldn't go down well.
Hi, guys.
Can we just not watch it at the spa instead?
Can I have a pint, please?
What ales have you got?
Sorry, do you have any of the fruity ciders?
I'm thinking £100 isn't enough to get me in there.
£200, you're right.
I mean, we are talking £350.
£350.
£350.
Yeah,
That's quite
I'd be interested.
low for me.
I reckon you could get away with it. I reckon that the people of Glasgow have a bad rep.
I do.
And I reckon,
I think they'd admire your bollocks.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
I do remember seeing a video, I think it was at the 2006 World Cup, someone parked a car in, I think it was Glasgow, with, those England flags poking out the window.
Oh, yeah.
They parked it on some random street, and I think it took like half an hour for some chavs to come on and smash the car.
Oh, shit.
But was that not just any car? That would have happened to in some areas of Glasgow.
That's true.
Going back on my previous statement about the people of Glasgow having a bad rep. But,
yeah, I don't know. I think 350, and I'd start thinking about it. A bit of Dutch courage.
Yeah,
I'd be drinking a lot to get before I went in there, and then you've got to just own that shit.
Do you just go in and go, this was a dare, I've just got to do it?
I think you go, hey up boys, let's fucking have it today. And I think, honestly, I think they'd be like, he's so brash with it.
We're here to take your freedom. Again.
I like the idea that if you go into a pub early, sit down in Scotland gear, and then over the course of the day, just slowly change into England stuff and just see who knows.
Every time you go to the toilet, you come back with one England.
Come back with someone else. By the end, you're like one of those guys with a big drum in the full St. George.
An ITV trumpet.
So you start off Scottish and slowly get more southern. So like you nip to the toilet, come back and you're like Geordie. Nip back and come back and you're like Brummy. And last time, like, oh, hello, Scottish people.
Go in there Scottish and you come out of the bar, you're like, I thought I'd leave that for a couple of seconds.
You've just hidden all the shit the night before in the cistern of one of the toilets. I think you'd win them over that way. I really do. They'd be like, "Oh, he's going in again." And when you come out, they'll probably start cheering you. No one's even watching the game at that point.
I don't reckon I'd need that much.
No,
I reckon 500.
500. So anyone lower?
500, and it's a story.
Yeah, it's a brilliant story. And I think if you get punched, basically, how much would you? There's a chance you might get a cheeky smack in the face.
Okay.
For me, £300 will cover that. I'll take a punch for £300.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the dental work that you could get done for £500 is probably enough.
Well, up in Scotland, you don't have to pay for prescriptions, so
that's true.
Yeah, get all the work you want done.
Can I have 4 teeth, please?
Yeah.
Get the extra things that you needed.
Get all the asthma pumps you want.
Brilliant. Well, in light of that,
all the prescription creams. Well, how much would you do it for if you still had the 9 lives from earlier?
Oh,
I'll do it for free for the first 7.
Are you the guy? Are you that guy who always comes back to life? That's me.
We've killed you 7 times. What are you doing back? You didn't fucking do it well enough, did you?
Yeah, I think you'd be in less danger doing this than you would like the Celtic Rangers thing.
Oh yeah, okay.
Because I think then you're cruising for being stabbed.
Yeah, no, you
were about to say bruising then.
Yeah, and then I realised, no, you could be, but then it's probably a bit more than being bruised.
Yeah, you'd be
unless it's heavy internal bruising. But yeah,
you'd be completely they'd fuck
You're
you up.
cruising for the burning.
Nice. Yeah, you'd just be immolated. But I'm sticking by 500.
I still think there's a very high chance of me getting pummeled.
Or you could just play it off like it's your stag. Oh, it's my stag, guys. And
Yeah,
do the
if I was to
accent.
do it, I'd probably go like,
They'll be here any minute.
This is a dare. I've got to do it. Please be on my side, but I can't.
That's the saddest stag do in the world. Just for the entirety of the game and however long you are there, just nobody turns
But you're
up.
like, oh, any minute. Where are they? Where are they? He said he was.
Oh no, Dave's just finding some parking. He'll be here any minute. Yeah. No, he doesn't want to do the pay and display. No, what's a free one? Yeah.
90 minutes later. Where?
Yeah, no, Kev's stuck on the motorway. Yeah. No, it's nightmare. Traffic. Football, isn't it? Yeah, classic.
Brilliant.
Fantastic.
So 350 is the lowest.
Do I get a prize?
No, you get to do it. You're going to set this up. You're going to create a YouTube channel
for my stag.
You got a GoFundMe page.
Right, well, thank you to Alex and Chris from Fractal Fiction for coming on the podcast.
You're very welcome. Hopefully any of that is broadcasted.
Yeah.
Well, I think we'll have
If not, at least we have the memories.
That's why we do it, right? That's it. Just for the memories.
Yeah. And to lead us out, we're going to have another clip of Fractal Fiction. And this is one of my favourite lore drops.
The title of this week's lore drop is Mr. Lucky. If you've ever considered yourself unlucky, then think again. Unlucky is being fathered by a member of the Cum family.
Oh boy.
And mothered by a lady of the Guz clan. Very unlucky is that same mother being too stubborn to adopt her new marriage name. Truly unlucky would be the lack of awareness that mother displayed when asserting that they double-barrel their surnames instead. Now, extremely unlucky would be your father insisting on naming you Richard after his great-grandfather. But ultimately, you don't get much more unlucky than growing up on Titania 4.5 as Richard Cumguz. And, ultimately, you don't end up becoming the first and only man in human history with the ability to see into the future. While precognition is great and all, Ricky's ability came with a caveat. The limit of his foresight was 1 megasecond, roughly 11.6 days. Now, there isn't a lot you can do with 11.6 days of advanced knowledge when you inhabit the body of a 72-year-old chain smoker.
Sure, you can win big betting on sporting events. You can influence the butterfly effect on a more favourable course. You can even host your own Mystic Rick breakfast show. And Richard did all of these things and more, making a considerable fortune on Accrington Stanley's rise to win the Mr. Porky Premier League.
Who are they?
But this is Richard Cumguz we are talking about. His luck was always going to run out eventually. And it is a certainty that luck abandoned Richard on the day he foresaw the Reckoning, an event that would bring about the end of life on Satania 4.5, and by his calculations, take a minimum of 12 days to prevent. 0.4 days was all that separated Richard from being the hero of the planet or a tattered refugee aboard the Haramasi refuge vessels.
That's fucking gold. Absolute gold. That is brilliant.
Oh, thank you very much.
Right, so yeah, if you enjoyed any of those clips and if you enjoyed Alex and Chris on the podcast, then check out Fractal Fiction. Link in the description, as all the podcasts.
We should also say on our newest episode, thank you for providing the recording as well.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I did a little jingle for Double Entendre.
Yeah. R.I.P. Forever in our hearts.
Spoilers. So, fuck. Have you got another episode in the making?
Yeah, I'm editing one at the moment. Yeah. So episode 7. It's a good one. Take my word, it's a good one.
We recorded 3 around the same time. I went up there and they came out. Though I think they're some of our best episodes.
Okay.
So
yeah, nice. Yeah. So when's the ETA on the episode release?
This month. This month, episode 7 will be out.
Yeah, our release schedule's a bit more like freeform jazz. It's just whenever.
I think that's fitting, isn't it? That's fitting.
Yeah, exactly. So there we go. But thank you for having us, guys.
Yeah, thank you.
Fiction. Been fab.
And see you next time.
So it's definitely not taking part that counts because I won. Just so we're clear on that. I need this win right now. I'm just saying. All right.
What dark insight.
You can always talk to us.
If you've been affected by any of the issues raised in Knackers in the Breeze,